Hi guys, I'm Arnell, and today we're going to look at the past perfect. And I'll answer some of the most common questions you have about this tense. You know, we can't speak about the past perfect without looking at the past simple. So in today's lesson, you're going to see a lot of both. So let's start with the basics, and I will get more specific as the lesson continues. You can see here I have two verbs. I have a regular verb and an irregular verb. To form the past simple, we need verb number 2. For example, I walked to work. For the past perfect, we need had plus the past participle, verb number 3. I had walked to work. The good news is, when it comes to the past simple and the past perfect, the verb forms never change. So it doesn't matter what your subject is, I, you, he, she, it, the verb forms always stay the same. I'd walked, you'd walked, he'd, she'd, it'd, they'd, we'd. If you want to sound natural, contract. And be careful, if you see I'd plus the infinitive, verb number 1, you know I'd is I would. I would walk to work. If you have that past participle, it's had. I had walked to work. So would has nothing to do with the past perfect, but I just wanted to show you that I'd can mean I had or I would. To contract the negative, I hadn't, you hadn't, he hadn't, she hadn't, etc. Is it possible to contract differently? Can I say, I'd not walked to work? Yes, you can say that, it's correct, but hadn't is more common. I hadn't walked to work. Here I have two timelines. They're both in the past, not the present, the past. I was surprised that someone had organized my desk for me. I opened my fridge and saw that my roommate had eaten a piece of my cake. Can you find the past simple? First sentence was. Surprised looks like a verb, it's an adjective. In my second sentence, opened and saw. Can you find the past perfect? Had organized, had eaten. 2 actions, 3 actions. Which action happened first? Had organized, and then I was surprised. Had eaten, and then I opened my fridge, and then I saw this. We use the past perfect to speak about an earlier past, a past before another past. The past perfect is always the first action. It doesn't matter if the past perfect comes first in your sentence or later on, everyone knows the past perfect happened first. Let's do a little comparison. When I got home, my cat ate her food. Meow, meow. When I got home, my cat had eaten her food. The two sentences look very similar. In my first sentence, it's clear that first I got home and then my cat ate dinner. But the past perfect is very powerful. In the second sentence, first my cat ate her dinner, then I got home. So, why do we do this? Why do we have this past before the past? There are actually three common reasons. Number 1, we're describing an action or situation that happened up to another point in time. By the time Georgina was 7, she had been to 5 countries. Until Paula met Bruce, she had never been in love. Number 2, we're explaining a past situation using an earlier past. I didn't want to watch the movie. Why? Because I had already seen it. Carol didn't know what to do. Why? Because she hadn't received instructions from her boss. Hadn't. Notice the contraction. Number 3, to show surprise. I woke up and saw that someone had drawn a mustache on my face. What's a mustache? A mustache is one of these. Yesterday, I had an appointment with my accountant. I was an hour late. By the time I arrived, my accountant had had 3 espressos. That's a lot. Had. How do we form the past perfect? Had plus past participle. Double had. I was in a terrible mood because I had had a terrible day. Wait. Ugh. Because I'd had a terrible day. And a lot of times you won't even notice the had because of that contraction. So yes, had does exist and is perfectly correct. Do I always need the past perfect with the past simple? No, you need a past reference point. This could be the past continuous. Elena was crying in the bathroom because someone had made fun of her clothes. We see she was crying. Before that, someone had made fun of her clothes. So, the past perfect must be used with another action. It cannot be used alone. And you might not remember, but earlier in the lesson, I said, the past perfect must be used with another action. It cannot be used alone. Let's take a look at a mini conversation. Well, the client wants a full refund. A refund is when you need to give all the money back because a client or a customer is not happy. Why? You deliver the project 2 weeks late. 2 weeks late, but we'd already agreed on that. He knew we needed more time. Here you can see, we'd already agreed on that is alone in the sentence, but in the context of the conversation, there's a connection. Now in the present, the client wants a refund. Before that, the project was delivered. Before that, we'd already agreed on something. So sometimes someone will show me a sentence and ask, why is the past perfect used? Is it correct? I don't know. I need a bit more information. So if you're watching a movie or you're reading something, listening to a podcast, and you hear the past perfect, try to connect it to something else in the past because there's a reason it's used. Let's get even more specific. After we'd eaten breakfast, we left for our trip. We'd eaten breakfast before we left for our trip. We'd eaten breakfast and then we left for our trip. After, before, and then. I think those words already make the sequence clear, don't they? In these sentences, They all mean the same thing. I'm just using different vocabulary. When you get sentences like this with before, after, and then, the sequence is already clear. The past perfect is optional. I could also use the past simple. That's fine. After we ate breakfast, we left for our trip. We ate breakfast before we left for our trip. We ate breakfast and then we left for our trip. When the sequence of events is already clear, we don't need the past perfect. And in spoken English especially, we like to simplify things. My husband and I went to a fancy restaurant for our anniversary. We had a main course and a dessert. We also ordered an appetizer. Hey, wait a second. We also ordered an appetizer? Doesn't she mean we had also ordered an appetizer because it came before the main course? So let's look at that vocabulary. If you go to a nice restaurant, the appetizer is always the first thing you have. So even though I said we also ordered an appetizer, it's clear it came before the main course, before the dessert. Nobody orders an appetizer after dessert. I know the past perfect can be confusing. Actually, it's really easy. It's the past before the other past. Well, the past perfect is also used in reported speech, the third conditional, and wish. Don't worry, you do not need to know all of these structures today, but it's good to see them. Reported speech. I left work early yesterday. Bill told me that he left work early yesterday. We use the past perfect to report, the past simple. Third conditional. If I had checked my schedule more carefully, I wouldn't have missed the meeting. You can check out my conditional video here. Wish. I wish I had apologized to Michael. Use wish plus past perfect to speak about a past regret. Can you give me any examples? Let me know in the comments below of something you did before something else you did. I can't wait to see you soon. Thank you. Bye.